cute only because of the candlesticks they're in, which are large. I couldn't find the ones. I don't. Maybe Michael knows. We use these at high holidays with longer tapered candles. But I'm saying like, yeah, they look cuter than they actually. I mean, cute is in the eye of the beholder anyway. Let me see if Michael knows. Yeah, sure, correct. Michael knew where they were. Did not know where they were. I have to use them anyway. Audra, how's your matches skills? Audra? Audra? How are your matches skills? No, I mean, are you? Okay. It's important stuff. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hi, Ria. Oh, man. Take a look around. See who you have gathered here with, who's gathering here for Kabbalat Shabbat, which literally means to receive the Sabbath. So that's what we're doing here. Shabbat is already, by nature, arrived. The sun has set, and it's already nighttime this time of year, of course. But when we are actively receiving Shabbat, that's what makes it Shabbos. And so that's the rhythm and the reason for the Friday night service is to literally receive Shabbat and to let it sort of work its way into your soul and bring you peace and some renewal so you can go back out in the world refreshed and reinvigorated and ready to continue making a difference to the people and places that need us, need our spirits. So I also know that there's a few of you who are sleeping over tonight. An old-fashioned lock-in Shabbaton. It's the young adult Shabbaton, wonderfully organized by Michael back there in the stream booth. So we wish everyone that is staying here for many more hours after everyone else leaves lots of blessings for learning and enjoying each other, enjoying this holy space, which is really kind of awesome at night, and really letting yourselves have a Shabbat of community, because that's really what it's about. We're continuing with the Joseph story, and I say this a lot because it's just really so important. The Joseph story, which encompasses 4 or 5 Torah portions at the end of Bereshit, at the end of Genesis, it really could stand on its own. You could kind of make a novella out of the stories of Joseph and his brothers and Jacob. And it kind of carries us from the beginning through this incredible journey to the end of everybody's life, the end of Jacob's life, the end of Joseph's life. There's such a key phrase in this Torah portion. And it's just 3 words. And actually, 2 of the words are basically the same words. But there's 3 words. And to me, they almost become a mission statement for religion and spirituality and Judaism as it should be. In the character story, the words are Judah, right, speaking to Joseph. And Judah has come with his brothers. They're right in front of Joseph, but they don't know he's there. They don't know it's Joseph. He's basically disguised. He didn't disguise himself, but he looked so Egyptian, and it had been so long since his brothers had sold him for slavery that they didn't recognize him. And Judah is pleading with Joseph for food because, of course, Joseph had the dream. Last week, I read it in the Torah, the dream of the 7 years of plenty and the 7 years of famine, and the famine has hit. And Joseph's brothers have come from Canaan to beg for food and for their father, for their family, for their people. And Joseph, trying to kind of test his brothers, says, yeah, that's okay, I'll get you food, but what I want you to do is bring your father back and leave Benjamin here. Leave Benjamin, the youngest brother. It's kind of like collateral, And Judah, unlike how he was when it was Joseph vulnerable, it appeared that Judah had learned something in the ensuing years, and he begged and pleaded for Benjamin. He said, we can't be without Benjamin. We can't let Benjamin out of our sight. You don't know how much he means to our father. Remembering that, Joseph was their father's favorite, and they hated that. And now it appears that they've come to peace with whatever it is that Jacob and Benjamin's relationship is as father and son. And then Judah says these words. He says, Nafsho kishara v'nafsho. We can't leave Benjamin here because his soul is viscerally connected to our father's soul. Their souls are bound up with one another. And to me, that's a mission statement. That's what religion should be all about. We should all feel nafsho, kishara v'nafsho, that our souls are bound together. People we know, people we don't, people that are like us, people that are not like us. Our human souls are bound up with one another's. Our lives should be bound up. We should care about each other that much. So that's why I love the fact that there's going to be a lock-in, a Shabbaton, because your souls need to, as much as you know each other, there's always more soul connecting to be done. It's really important. Let's sing a little bit, and then we'll kind of move on with the service. But we have some opening melodies on page 4. Talk about our souls connecting to one another. This is one way to do it. Let our voices weave in with one another, with Leslie, with Bryn, with each other. When we sing together, we definitely not only raise our spirits, but we raise everybody else's. So there are 3 sets of melodies that we often start Friday night service with. One is a nigun, a melody that you don't have to know any words. You don't even have to look at the book if you don't want. You don't need to know Hebrew. You don't even have to know English. Just lai, just the language of breath and spirit. And then we'll move into the English translation of the Hebrew Bible, a passage from the book of Isaiah. And then finally into Hebrew with a verse from Psalms. And all in the interest of us kind of getting used to being here and to acknowledging that everyone that's here, every single person, every soul belongs here. If you came here for whatever reason, whatever brought you here, you belong. We belong. So let's sing a little bit. You guys are ready? Take a deep breath. Nishima Amuka. Yai-da-lai, yai-da-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-la-lai, yai-la-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-la-lai, yai-la-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-la-lai, yai-la-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-la-lai, yai-la-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-la-lai, yai-la-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, one time more all the way through. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai-lai. Yai-lai-lai, yai-lai-lai. Isaiah, and they shall come to my holy mountain and rejoice in my house of prayer. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. The poetry, the songs of the book of Psalms. How good it is when we sit together in peace and harmony. We hope and pray. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov shevet achim gam yachad. So it's such a pleasure and an honor to light our candles tonight at the Shabbat, to ask Audra Hazelwood, to come forward and light the Shabbos candles just a few weeks ago, probably longer than I remember. But
It's December 4th.
Okay, so wow, okay, so almost a month ago, yeah. Audra entered the holy waters of the mikvah of St. Louis. Audra has been studying and participating and struggling, which is really part of the whole journey, and has decided to join the Jewish people. And we made it official on December 4th.
Yes.
Which was actually the anniversary of my bar mitzvah, in fact, in 1976. So we have that connecting us. You'll hear more about this from Audra, but Audra took on the Hebrew name of Esther Matityahu. And so I know you've been lighting Shabbat candles and you've been coming here for services, but it feels like this mitzvah that you're doing now, lighting candles in front of the Friday night Havra, and I think you're one of those that is sleeping here tonight as well, so those candles should glow through the whole Shabbaton that you are lighting. But, in one of your first acts officially as a Jewish soul, a Jewish individual, to light these candles for us. And Brucha Haba'ah, just welcome. We're a better people because you are part of it. So go ahead and light those candles. We're going to sing on the bottom of page 4 before we say the bracha. We're going to sing a little kavanah. Or do you stay here, Esther? And we'll sing the candle lighting song, it says there. Keep working at it. That's why we sing the song. Hear our prayers, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayers to you. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. And now we'll take that light and spread it symbolically wherever it needs to go, bringing more light, more love to all people in all places. The people you know need extra light, send that light to them. But there's always enough to go around, enough for you. So take some of the light of Shabbat, the light of these moments that we're sharing together, bring them right back into your own heart and soul. And let's sing with Leslie and Bryn the bracha, the blessing, to begin the Sabbath with the lighting of lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishon b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. V'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
So turn to someone next to you or in front of you or behind you. Wish them a good Shabbos. And also the camera signifies the people that are watching us via stream. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. I hope that being together helps make our Shabbat even holier, even more holy for all. Let's turn now to pages 8 and 9. Little Lechado D action. This is a special part of the Kabbalat Shabbat service, actually written by the Kabbalists themselves, the original Kabbalists in the north country, the mountain country of Israel, Sfat. And the legend is, the story is that the Kabbalists felt like, as mystics, it kind of makes sense being mystics, that starting with Baruch on Shabbat felt too jarring. It was too fast to enter into prayer, and Shabbat needed a little extra, a little bit more preparation. And so that's why they developed this part of the service that's called Kabbalat Shabbat. Now the whole Friday night service in most of the Jewish world is all called Kabbalat Shabbat. But initially it was like a new addition. And the idea was to sort of work your spirit into the prayer service, because you had time on Shabbat. And the legend is that the Kabbalists would, if you've been to Sfat, you can just picture this. It's kind of like Jewish Colorado, Sfat. I don't know, the way I kind of think about it. But they would sit on the side of the cliff, and there's a beautiful vista facing west as the sun would set. And of course, the sun setting meant that Shabbat was starting. And as the sun set, they were right there in front of the setting sun. They would sing songs and give prayers more informal than the rest of the service. and work their way into just before the sun was about to set. Is there a word for that moment, that like kind of penultimate moment of the day when it's just the sun is just on the pre-what?
Crepuscular.
Get out.
No,
The
seriously.
crepuscule is the now. Crepuscular.
I have to sit down for a second.
I'm totally serious. I'll look up the definition.
No, I believe you. Don't look it up. I believe you. Crepuscular.
Crepuscular. Okay.
So it was right then. No, like everyone knows it but me. That's so sad.
Is that what you're saying, not creep?
Fla, did you know that? Oh, I feel better. Rhea did. Okay. In any event, now we all know it. It was at that moment that they would break into Lachadodi, just as Shabbat was starting. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to sing Lachadodi, and we go right into Baruch Hu, just kind of in mirroring sort of that story, that legend. So this is kind of calling out to Shabbat, calling out to all that's good and high and holy in the world that will enter our soul, enter our consciousness, as we hope it does right now. Are you guys, I feel like I'm on Jeopardy all this. All right, okay. Crepuscular. Let's sing them. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Ka, Yadadai, 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 B'nai Shabbat, Nikabela, Lecha Dodi, Lecha Ka, Yadadai, 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 B'nai Shabbat, Nikabela, Shemo v'zacho v'dibor echad, Yanu El Hamiuchad Adonai Echad Shemo Echad L'Shem Ol Tiferet V'Letefila Le'echad Dodi Le'echad Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela Le'echad Dodi Le'echad Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat Shabbat Lechu v'nilcha Ki mekor habaracha Mehirosh mikedem nisucha Sof machzek b'machshavat tefila Lecha dodi lecha kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Kabbalah Lecha Dodi Lecha Ka Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Kabbalah Hitoreri Kiva Orech Kumi Uri Shir Daberi Kivod Adonai Alai Nikla Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela Boi v'shalom Ateret Bala Gam b'simcha u'letzola Atoch emunei nilzigula Boi kala Hey, lecha dodi lecha kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yadadai 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 B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. stay standing if you're able, but turn around. We were facing the door on that last stanza to really search for the presence of Shabbat, the Pnei Shabbat, and you're supposed to manifest it, whatever it is you find most beautiful. To the Kabbalists, their kind of metaphor for ultimate beauty was a bride, That's why it's Boi Kala. This here is the bride. They called Shabbat the bride. But whatever it is that is most beautiful, and then, of course, Shabbat's supposed to be even more beautiful than the most beautiful. But that's their image. That's what's supposed to come into the door as we enter into Shabbat. But then we face back again to the east, the direction of our prayers, most generally, the direction of renewal and hope, of the sunrise for us. And let's call each other to prayer with our kavanah, and then the words of the Baruch Hu on page 11. Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lie, lie, lie. 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam vahed. Le'olam vahed. Yada lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Please be seated. You hear that word a lot, kavanah, kind of intentionality, preparation. So now we're going to sing a kavanah for Shema. This one is not in the book, but it's pretty easy to learn, especially the chorus, which only has one word. So to speak. No, literally, actually. And so to speak. It's good when it works out that way. One love for each other, sisters, brothers, siblings. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other. Carry each other. One. Sing it out. One love, one blood, one heart, one soul, one drum, one rhythm, one tribe, and all of us singing. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Come on now. One. Yes, sir. One more time. Oh, one. There's another part of this portion by Yigash which means to draw near. Joseph does end up revealing himself to his brothers. That's a big part of the story. Kind of like the Jacob and Esau story, there's reunion and lots of love and hugs and crying. And Joseph begs his brothers to, another more begging, but he asks his brothers to please let go of any guilt or shame they have about what they did to Joseph, to him. And Joseph says, think about it. If you hadn't left me there in that pit, I wouldn't have ended up in Egypt, and I wouldn't have attained this position, and I wouldn't have been able to feed you and our family, and feed those that needed bread in this time of famine. And Joseph said, while you meant harm to me, there was another plan. There was something else going on, and it conspired for me to be in this position that I never would have been without what you did to me. And it was a sophisticated kind of sort of spirituality to take this awful thing that had been done and to find the hope in it, and the part of it that led to a path and a journey of strength and of salvation. And it's not an easy thing, but there is a part of the universe that we just don't understand. We call it God, call it Spirit with a capital S, call it love with a capital L. But sometimes we really can figure out a way to reformulate our story for the good, even when there's so much in our stories for so many of us that is difficult and challenging and painful. It doesn't take all that away, but there's a redirect that Joseph kind of teaches us in this portion, that everything is connected, even those things that are really negative can be seen in a way with the right strength and the right wisdom and the right support to see some glimmer of hope in those things. And that's part of Shema Yisrael. The part of it's all one. Even when we can't figure out a way to see it, it's that oneness is imprinted in how we are supposed to conceive of the world. So it's not easy, but that's why we have Shabbat and why we have prayer, to remind us that it's possible. So I would like to ask if anyone that wants to stand as you recite the Shema, you may stand. Also, very traditional in many congregations for people to stay seated during Shema. Your choice here at this congregation. We'll still be singing and reciting the same words that you'll hear in a bit from Audra that we sang together at the mikveh. Words that do unite us, the invisible thread of connection, not just with all Jews, but all humanity. But I do want to say that one place and people we're connected to, because we're connected to all, that right now I want to highlight the Jewish community in Australia, actually everyone in Australia, for the horrendous act of terrorism and murder on the first night of Hanukkah. We are connected to them and they are connected to us, When somebody is hurting, we hurt. And when someone is celebrating, we celebrate. And that's another way we know that we are one. We are echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated. If you are standing, let us continue on page 16. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. Page 18. One of the two blessings after the Shema on the evening service for redemption. Joseph sort of has a way, the story of Joseph has a way of sort of kind of seeping into a lot of your Jewish consciousness during this time of year. But I remembered a story, actually Leslie was with me. Do you know the story I'm going to tell?
Maybe.
Okay. So this is, it was Memphis, Tennessee, and it was actually Rabbi Daniel and Rabbi Karen's wedding. And it was the day of their wedding was that night, and Leslie and I and Amy, I think it was just the three of us, right? Went to the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, which if you've been there, it's quite stunning. If you haven't, you should try to go. The museum was built at the hotel where Dr. King was assassinated. And most of the place has been sort of renovated to be more like a museum than a motel, except the last part, you enter into Dr. King's room, and they don't let you go out on the balcony where he was shot, but you can see right there. It's incredibly powerful. But this was before we even started. There's a plaque right in front of the museum, and David Lazaroff was just there, and he sent me a picture of it. It's a plaque dedicated to Dr. King, but the quote is from the Torah, Genesis, and actually from the story of Joseph, last week's portion. And it's about the brothers before this act of redemption of this portion, but when they're scheming to harm and get rid of their brother, this is what Judah says. Same Judah who said, "Don't harm Benjamin." He said, "Here comes that dreamer," meaning Joseph. "Let's put him in a pit and see what happens to his dreams." Right? And it's quite a powerful passage, given Martin Luther King and I Have a Dream speech. And it happened to be the portion of the week, the Shabbat that we were at that museum, that we were reading this plaque. And I think the idea is, no matter what, you can't stop the dream. Right? No matter what's done to us and what's dividing us and harming us, the dream of liberation, of justice, of equality, of taking care of those who are vulnerable, of including those who are vulnerable and marginalized, that dream will live on despite the challenges and the hardships, and that's redemption. So that's why we sing Mechamocha, to remember that it's always possible. Even hundreds of years of slavery in the story were eventually overcome, and slavery turned into freedom, and injustice turned into justice, and that is our challenge to this very day. So let's sing together this freedom song, this song of redemption, of hope. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder b'kodesh, Nora tehilot hosei tale, hosei tale. Yai yimloch le'olam va'ed, yimloch le'olam va'ed, yimloch le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yai Amen. Page 20. One more short teaching, Joseph teaching. I've kind of alluded to it. It's a part I'm going to read tomorrow from the Torah is just so impactful, the reunion aspect of this story. Just like the reunion aspect of Jacob and Esau. The idea that we can somehow come together. And I know this is a tender time of year for a lot of people, the holidays. Family is very often a double-edged sword, right? But these Torah portions suggest that there's always hope. And just like Michamocha is more about kind of political redemption and national liberation and kind of those big stories, Hashkivenu is more about the small stories, no less important, individuals and families and communities. And these stories in the Torah go along so well with that. Could have been a split forever between Joseph and his brothers. They might never have known that he still was alive. Joseph might never have interceded to save his brothers' lives. Because the sin that was committed against Joseph via his brothers was just unthinkable, seemingly unforgivable. And yet, here we have it. Hugs and tears and embrace and love, wholeness. Somehow, we're supposed to believe that it's possible. So whatever it is that we're feeling bereft of, divided from, separated with, here's to hoping for reunion, if possible. If not, let something better replace it. Take this soul, living in my skin and bones. Take this soul and let it sing. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before a child is born. Yahweh, it's always dark before the dawn. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu L'Chaim. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gotta be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Ufros aleinu sukkot. Sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace over the whole world, over everyone and everything that dwells on earth. May this night, this Shabbos, help us create shelters of peace here and there and everywhere to allow for reunion, redemption, wholeness, love, peace. Shalom, salam, shanti, peace. We're on page 23. Please stand again if you are able. This next section of prayers on Friday night has become our custom to start out together singing another verse from Psalms, the Psalm of Opening, as I call it, and then have some silent prayer time, your own prayers, meditations, reflections, just a little bit of silent prayer time to add your own voices to the words of the Siddur, and then have a seat, and we'll do one more prayer, a prayer for peace. We'll sing out loud, and then we'll hear from Audra, from Esther Matityahu. But first, Adonai Sivatai Tivtachu Fi Yagi Tehilatecha, that this should be a time of opening, open hearts, open minds, open souls, open arms, open doors, for welcoming one another, and open mouths. That's what the verse actually says, that our mouths should be open to produce words of kindness and generosity and holiness. Page 31. We conclude this section of prayer with a deep hope that each of us, and those we know and those we'll never meet, that we figure out a way to build the world with more love. Another mission statement. Nafsho kishara v'nafsho. Olam chesed yibane. Yadada, yada, yada, yada. Olam chesed yibane. Yadada, yada, yada, yada. Olam chesed yibane, yada, 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 yada. Olam chesed yibane, yada, 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 yada. I will build this world. I will build this world from love. Yada-da, 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 and you must build this world. And you must build this world from love. Yada-da, yada-da, yada-da. If we build this world from love, if we build this world from love, yada-da, 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 then God will build this world from love. Then God will build this world from love. Yada, 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 yada. Olam chesed yibani. 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 Yada, 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 yada. Amen. Audra, Esther Matityahu, come to the Vima. I'm going to bring a microphone up there so everyone on the stream can hear what's going on. Why is that fun? Okay. I can do it. Hi, Audra.
Hi, Randy.
How does everyone stands while I take the Torah out? Well, I really, come a little closer. It really is true. The Jewish people is richer and more whole with you now as part of us. The integrity, the searching, the sweetness that you put into this journey is inspiring and should be inspiring for all of us. And, what we've talked about it a lot, Audra, like this is not, in Jewish tradition, this isn't something that's, we kind of force on people. It's really a choice. That's how we say a Jew by choice, who's also known as a Jew. Right? And this was your choice. And there was, like there always is, there were moments of trying to figure it out, and there were moments of doubt that we all go through. And I watched your strength. And I watched your determination, and I watched your big heart sort of come to this place. And I know this isn't always easy for you either, right? Just, you like to be part of everything, not in front of everything. So I also want to say the strength, the courage that is just that's emanating from you, the light that's emanating from you is filling all of us up here. That we have more strength, and we have more courage, and we have more light because of you. So I'm going to ask you if you will willingly, on your own accord and your own choice, take this Torah and hold it, symbolizing your becoming part of the Jewish people, and not just CRC, which is, we're so glad this is your home. And, at this point, it's hard to imagine CRC without you. But it's also embracing, the entirety of the Jewish world, and even the parts that are tough for all of us. We're family. And I know that you feel that. So it's more than an honor, it's a privilege to give you this Torah, Audra, and to say the words we said to you at the mikvah, Vayikra Shema b'Yisrael, Esther Matityahu. You're Audra, but also there'll be times in your life now you've taken on this name, Esther Matityahu, where there'll be times like this where we're going to use that name as one of the sacred names that you've chosen for yourself. So we're going to all, with you, sing Shema, which is one of the passages that you sang after you immersed into the Mayim Chaim, the living waters of the mikvah, affirming faith, affirming belonging, affirming these sacred moments. So if you leading us and all of us together with the Torah, with Audra, Esther, Matityahu, our congregation, your community, let's sing Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. And this next blessing, I know you know, but it's for you. You can join if you want, but it's really for you. It's for this moment. We sang it at the mikvah because that was really holy, but now this is sort of the public part of the conversion process. And this is an optional part, but you chose it. And so we want to sing Shehachianu to you, affirming life, affirming holiness, and affirming what this moment means to you, and what it means to us, and what it means to the Jewish people, and what it means ultimately to the whole world. So for this moment, for life, for holiness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Is right. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, who gave us our lives, who kept us alive, and who brought us and you, especially right now, to Lazman Hazeh, to this holy moment, as we all say with you, Amen. Simen tovu mazel tavu mazel tavu simen tovu mazel tavu simen tovu mazel tavu. Mazel tov, simen tov, yeilanu, 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 Ulam Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, Ulam Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Uvamcha Yisrael. Mazel Tov! You may be seated. You ready? Okay. And now, another part of this whole journey. Some words from Esther Matityahu about this journey that they are on. Come on up.
I knew my speech was missing something. I should have added crepuscular in there somewhere. But
We'll help you find a place for it.
hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I want to begin by thanking Rabbi Randy for inviting me up here, and for all of you for being here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Audra Hazelwood, or as some people call me, Chelsea. Where is Chelsea, by the way? People need to see us in the same room. Round of applause for Chelsea, everybody.
Chelsea
good
like
move.
But in all seriousness, this week's Torah portion, as Rabbi Randy was talking about, continues the story of Joseph and his siblings. Jacob and his family living in Canaan went to Egypt to seek food due to a famine. In desperation, Jacob sent his sons to consult Pharaoh's trusted advisor. And then the trusted advisor does all kinds of shenanigans, but to their astonishment, he turns out to be their long-lost brother, Joseph. Through reconciliation and forgiveness, and with Pharaoh's help, Joseph arranges for his family to receive land in Goshen on which to sustain themselves. What the Torah portion makes me think about is reconnection. Joseph and his family obviously reconnect with one another, but I think the story invites us to explore not only what it's like to reconnect with our past, but also the parts of ourselves that are left buried. I feel myself to be, in some sense, Jacob reconnecting with my spiritual family and with the spiritual parts of myself that I didn't know were there. This is my story. Coming from a secular home in an evangelical state like Kentucky, I never resonated with religion as it presented itself to me. But I was intentionally interested in studying religion, and I still am. Eventually, I moved to St. Louis for grad school, and in April 2024, I attended my first service at CRC. I stood up and bowed when others did, but I was hopelessly confused by the prayers. I attended a new member meetup afterwards and introduced myself, feeling intense social anxiety the whole time. I started attending services off and on that summer. I met Michael in the booth. We started hanging out late at nights after services. Unbeknownst to me, this was the beginning of the group known as the Cool Kids, as Randy calls us, the Craft Circle Havara. This led to some amazing friendships with Jules, Andrew, Renee, Heather, Rachel, and many others. I was even able to reconnect with Yael, who I knew in college. By fall 2024, I had enrolled in the Intro to Judaism class at Sher Emeth and was taking extensive notes. But my car got totaled in October of that year, and I never finished the class, though I did get the certificate. I met with Rabbi Daniel in January 2025, who told me he was surprised when I expressed interest in conversion because I had major Jewish vibes. One of the nicest things a rabbi can say to you, I suppose. I started attending a second intro class at CRC, and this time I finished. I attended other classes like Randy's on Philip Roth. I started an introductory Hebrew class this fall. I went to as many holidays as I could, given my work schedule. And earlier this month, on December 4th, I immersed myself in the mikveh. This is not to be confused with mitzvah, two words I'm still learning not to mix up. This pivotal moment happened a little later than planned, but I like to think that the delay only strengthened my commitment to this path. I felt myself drawn to Judaism for years, at least as far back as my teenage years, but probably farther back still. It was almost as if I was the Earth being pulled into the sun's gravitational orbit. I ignored it for a long time, but I realized at some point I needed to stop resisting and let myself explore my interests. What I found astonished me. As the philosopher Martha Nussbaum said about her conversion, she loved, quote, "the combination of joy and relief I found in entering a community in which outrage at injustice was normal." She went on to say, quote, "in great contrast to my Christian education focused on catechism and professions of faith, I discovered that in a Jewish conversion process, it was possible to dispute everything." I feel exactly the same way. I used to say I was an atheist who couldn't get God out of my mind, a seeker who wanted some answers without giving up on my inquisitive and skeptical nature. I wanted a tradition that welcomed wrestling with the most important aspects of our lives in an honest and clear-headed way. And when you put it like that, is it any surprise I converted to Judaism? Whatever happens after we leave this valley of tears, I want to live and work side by side with a community that asks difficult questions and works hard to make the world a better place. It is for this and many other reasons that I joined the Jewish people. Joseph was able to help his family and feed his brothers, and I hope to do the same for my adopted family and beyond. Thank you.
I forgot to say that that Audra and I drove to the mikveh together on December 4th, right, Audra? And we talked philosophy the whole way. Philosophy and music, and maybe the philosophy of music. But if you want to kind of discourse on a conversation, discussion, I mean, certainly there's amazing Jewish philosophers, along with all the philosophers in general, but there's a really rich world out there. And I was just talking about Herman Cohen today because I was at the art museum at the exhibit, and there was philosophers that were mentioned, including Immanuel Kant, right? The ethical, the moral imperative. And Herman Cohen was a student of Kant's and kind of developed a Jewish philosophy, sort of. In the wake of what Kant did. So I had this whole conversation with the guide at the exhibit about, you would have loved it. Like, it was just perfect. So thank you for giving us a glimpse of your journey, and look forward to so much more learning with you and from you, alongside you, as this Jewish journey of yours and ours continues. So, Yasher Koach, thank you for teaching us Torah and your Torah, and Amen.
Amen.
So we're going to kind of move towards the conclusion of the service. Just a few announcements. There is a Shabbat service tomorrow morning if you'd like to return at 10 o'clock. It includes lunch afterwards because we will be doing I will be doing the baby naming of Talia May. Talia is Amy Gage's first grandchild. Amy Gage, longtime member of CRC, Amy and Brian, and she was a past president, and now she is our membership coordinator. So I think a lot of you know Amy Gage. It'll be really joyful, like tonight was joyful, but it'll include lunch, which is, this one doesn't. But
Does Talia count as a brand new member as well?
Talia, I'm sure Amy signed her up already, even though she lives in Boston with her parents. And I actually officiated Talia's parents, Lily and Halsey's wedding a few years ago in Maine. It was a really wonderful time to be with. I love Amy's family, of course, but Halsey's family is equally awesome, and a lot of them are coming in from Kansas City for the naming tomorrow. So that's tomorrow at 10. I believe next week we'll start up again with classes and groups that we kind of were on pause for this week. I think obviously New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, the office will be closed, but otherwise things are going on. Torah study and grief support group is the Shabbat after the New Year, the first Shabbat of 2026. Mahjong is happening. There's a retreat coming up in a congregational retreat, 2 nights, January 30th through February 1st. At the very same time, we have a guest scholar that weekend. His name is Jared Goldfarb, and Jared is a personal friend of mine, and he's a interfaith and peace activist from New Hampshire who moved to Israel, and he's in part of some amazing organizations that are doing really serious work with Jews and Christians and Muslims and Israelis and Palestinians, and he is going to be speaking at the service on Saturday, which I think is January 30th, whatever that Shabbat is. And also he's going to be doing a lunch and learn, kind of a major congregational conversation about Israel and Palestine. He's also a big nature guy. So the Friday before is Tu B'Shvat. And so we're going to have our Tu B'Shvat Seder on Friday night, same time, but we'll be in the multipurpose room with lots of fruits and juices. And Jared will speak about he bikes and he hikes and he's very into the outdoors. So it felt like a very natural thing to include him then as well. So at the same time the retreat's going on, we have Jared with us. There'll be a Sunday program as well. So all that's coming up in about a month or so. And winter clothing drive continues throughout all the way through February. We've been doing great. Whenever you come here, if you can bring new or gently used winter items, although it was 70 degrees today, it's going to be winter again before you know it. And there are people on the streets and in shelters that could really use winter clothing. It's going to be 20 on Sunday? So there you go. So, I mean, you know, crazy kind of stuff. Yeah, sure, Paul.
I just want to say thank you for the Holy Ground Collaborative food drive a couple of weeks ago. I understand from James Page it was very successful. I wanted to thank you for the announcement.
Of course. Yeah. Well, we're so glad to be in partnership with Trinity Episcopal Church, and they do such a good job trying to feed folks who are food insecure. And yeah, we did a great food drive a couple weeks ago. Thanks to you and your participation in Holy Ground. And we'll do it again because the need is continual. All right, so now let's transition again to the final part of our service, which is remembrance and Kaddish. If you are here to say Kaddish for a loved one, ask that you stand, that we can recognize you and hear the names of the people that you are remembering. I want to start out by saying it just this very day, and I hate to be the bearer of really awful news, but wonderful Ron Sachs has passed away. Ron's a longtime member of CRC, and he's been struggling in the hospital. He was actually hit by a car as a pedestrian and was not able to sustain his injuries, and he passed away. That's Sherilyn Sachs's husband. Sherilyn worked for CRC as our full-time bookkeeper for many years. They were Saturday morning regulars for a long time, and it's just really, really sad. So I wanted to start out by saying the name of Ron Sachs, a blessed memory. And let's start right here.
My mother, Carol Portman.
May her memory be a blessing. And I can talk about Tu B'Shvat, right? That was your guys' day to remember your dad. And follow that with Yael. Yeah, may her memory be a blessing. And it's okay. I say, who's neon? You go ahead. Nope. Stand with Yael. I love, that's what we do. We stand shoulder to shoulder with each other. And Rhea. Oh. I'm so sorry, Rhea. Our condolences and a blessed memory. I think I see Sarah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you. Stephen.
Classmate, although from Clayton High School, is a couple years older, but Tommy Abrams, he was diagnosed with cancer literally 4 weeks before he passed away.
Sorry for
Lives in Kansas City.
our condolences. Yeah. Paul.
For my grandmother, Jane Hirschowitz,
Hmm.
and also Dad.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. May her memory be a blessing. Please.
My mother, Mary Fruman.
For your mother, Zikrona Livracha. Michael, here, go ahead, Leslie.
For my friend Mayor Early, for Annette Harrison, for Sharon Hollander, all these strong women, and for Miriam Raskin,
Yeah.
my Seder sister.
Michael, names from the stream.
We're remembering Marion Stuvland and Joe Mahoney.
Thank you. So now let's have everyone that's able stand with our mourners with those names in the air, but I also have other names I'm going to add to those that have been said, people we're remembering as a community. This weekend is the yard site, a lot of people, yard site this from CRC World this weekend. So they include Lois Alper and Kenneth Balk and Lottie Goldner and Leah Hirsch Goodman and Joel Hillman, Herman Keys, Lois Lawrence, Tess Weil, Lillian Weiss, Cassandra Elaine Wendler Harrison, Ada Cohen Novak, Isidore Rosen, Eugene Scarl, Estelle Sester, Joseph Schless, David Spira, Judith Strauss, Robert Wolfsey, Ralph David Blumenthal, Jane Brooker, William Collinger, that was Laney's father, Bill Collinger, Harry Enger, Herbert Colwyn, Al Rose's father, whose name was also Albert Rose. Just want to make sure everyone knows the distinction. Louise Rosenblum, Sherry Singer, Sandra Ward, and Bennett Zaman. Coming up is the yard site in the next week of Jerome Baum and Ann Epstein. Bunny Shopper, our member. Nat Hentoff, who not only was a really well-known jazz critic and First Amendment absolutist journalist, he wrote for the Village Voice, but he's also the father of our member Jessica Hentoff. Kathy Lass, amazing, lived in this neighborhood, worked for the Red Cross forever and ever. And then the recent losses include, as I said before, Ron Sachs of blessed memory. Just on this very day, he passed away just a few hours ago. Dan Crivet, Diane Katzman's father. Gary Jaffe and Jerry Feldman. Sarah Surkamp and Ralph Sonnenschein. Nancy Mulder and Barbara Lynch. Otis Brombello and Michael DePlacido. Miriam Raskin and Marilyn Weiss and Annette Harrison, all members of CRC that we miss. Barry Friedman and Larry Eisenberg, Gail Emmert and Ron Fegestrom, Bradley Rowe and Alan Palmer, Marilyn Schlitter, Phyllis Kidder, Stan Edelstein, John Joseph Palazzolo, Ava Cooper, Melissa Bennett, and Carol Portman, Sharon Hollander, Lizzie Wolf and Phyllis Goodfriend and Benson Portnoy, and coming up on the first yard site of Bunny Shopper and Kenneth Balk. For all of these good people, each one of them a blessed memory, each one of them a whole world. We add all of the people who were lost in the shooting in Australia and in acts of violence and warfare all over the world. Deaths that we hopefully will someday be able to reduce by making a more peaceful world. We think of all of them when we say those words, Shemei Rabbah, the great name, that represents the names of all the people that have graced this planet. And when you say Kaddish for a loved one, it's like you light up their name on that spiral, that Shemei Rabbah, that cycle of all the names of all the people that have ever lived. And so for them, we honor them, we remember them with the words of Kaddish, Mourner's Kaddish on pages 41 and 42. We say, Yikadal v'yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chaye echon u'v'yom echon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'galal v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam arab min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, ve'imru. Amen.
Oh, say shalom bimroma. Uyah, say
Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Zikronam livracha, may all of their memories forever and ever be a blessing as we say amen. And want to express my gratitude for Leslie and Bryn for filling this sanctuary with song, helping us elevate our prayers. So I really appreciate the music, appreciate all of you. The way we do Friday night at the ending is we'll do our blessing. In a moment, we'll all connect to each other, sing the blessing again from the Torah, the Birchat HaKohanim, the priestly blessing. There you go, Alan's ready. And then I'm going to sing us out into the Oneg room. You all can follow me if you want. We'll sing the blessings. We'll sing Kiddush and Motzi. And then if you want to stick around, there's still some more oneg left. We got cookies. Thank you for bringing cookies and other treats. Cool kids, have a great night. Will I see you when I get to CRC tomorrow morning? You'll still be here? All right, well, I'll try to not step on anybody. That'll be my contribution. Okay, so let's do this first. You ready? Yivrechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you now and always. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine down upon you and through you and help us all feel more safe and warm and loved. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may the prayers, may our songs, may the amazing words of Esther Matityahu help bring us more peace on the Shabbat so that we can then in turn bring shalom, spread shalom wherever we go so that soon, God willing, soon there'll be more peace in the whole world. Let us say amen. And Shabbat shalom. It's Shabbos, everybody. Let's sing.
I have to tell you, I love listening to that Springsteen piece.
Oh, yeah, is it an old one or was it a new one?
It's old.
Yeah.
It's newish.
I
It
think
goes back. He
yeah.
plays interviews with him 50 years
Yeah.
ago. But did you know he played with